Welcome to our podcast, A Shot at Bliss. This is Yadi.
And Melly, and this is another episode of our series, Bliss in Disguise, where we will be discussing all those daily moments that can negatively affect your day.
Yeah, and as little as the challenge is that's thrown your way, it can totally mess with your mood. So in this series, we will share with you guys how we deal with these obstacles and the negative mentality that follows to create a pattern that allows us to live a more conscious and overall happy life. And today's topic is coffee or no coffee?
Caffeine or no caffeine?
A lot of people love their coffees in the morning or their teas. And sometimes it's not even the coffee or the tea that they love, but it's the caffeine in it.
Yeah, and sometimes they need it, and otherwise they feel like they can't conquer the day without it.
Right, and we know that there are benefits to drinking coffee, but today we will be discussing some of the downsides of the caffeine in your coffee.
Along with some advantages for being caffeine-free and alternatives to caffeine. We also have a really interesting new idea to share with you guys for those who really just won't give up that coffee.
And that'll be towards the end of the episode, so stay
till the end.
I'm really excited for this topic just because it's so common, nowadays to drink or have your coffee in the morning just for fun.
Not even because you feel like you need it, just for fun.
Yeah, it's a trend, right? I feel like sometimes things are more of a trend than they are habits too.
Okay, so about coffee. Do you want to say a little backstory on your experience with coffee or your history with coffee?
My history with coffee. Well, I started drinking coffee when I was about 24. Yeah, like mid-20s.
You mean like drinking it like regularly?
Mm-hmm. Or drinking it at all. I was never...
You would never drink it?
No, never.
No? Not even when it was a trend to drink it in like
your
teenage years when you would go to the mall?
No, never. That's so funny. You know what? I never liked the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents never let me taste coffee.
They didn't?
No, they didn't until I was... I think after I turned 18, just
maybe
because
that's why
it wasn't
didn't
healthy.
Like it.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, it was never a thing for me to drink coffee. I never liked it, so I never really bought it, right? But you're right. Now that I remember, in middle school, I remember a lot of girls would show up with their Starbucks in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was never a thing for me. So I started drinking coffee in my mid-20s, and it was only because I started a new job and I just could not keep myself awake. I was in front of the computer and it was so hard for me to stay focused. And I think it was more because of that, because of the lack of focus. So I started drinking, actually I didn't start drinking coffee, it was caffeinated teas. Yeah, so these highly caffeinated teas, I highly recommend. I would recommend to all my girls and to everybody who would, just bring up the conversation of not being able to stay focused throughout the day or just the lack of energy, right, that they had. So I would always tell them, hey, search up Amazon and get yourself some high caff teas because those are so good. They have double the caffeine than a cup of coffee. So yeah, they kept me awake and focused, but I just started getting so dependent on them, I started drinking them. I would have about 3 to 4 cups of tea a day in I would say about 5 to 6 hours.
Oh, a span of 5 to 6 hours. Wow.
Yeah. So I noticed that
That's like a coffee an hour.
Yeah. So then I started realizing that on weekends when I wouldn't have my tea, I would just have major headaches, migraines, and I was just feeling so crabby all day.
Wow.
And I wasn't sure why, right? I would always be like, oh, I'm probably going to start my days or something. I had no idea why until I realized that it was all the caffeine that I was drinking.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was kind of crazy. Once I realized that it was indeed the teas that I was drinking, I obviously cut back and I just drank 1 cup of tea a day. and I would make it last. I'd put 2 tea bags in it, so that would help a little, make it stronger. But it was, I mean, a lot better than 4 cups of teas. Yeah.
I bet. So I actually don't like teas. So I don't drink teas. And I like coffee, like for the taste, but only when it's cold. So when it's iced coffee or when it's like full of sugar. But I don't drink it every day.
Okay, so you don't need it for energy.
I don't use it for energy. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
I guess the only time I do use it for energy is when I'm going on like long road trips and I'm driving, and the coffee will like keep me awake for like a few minutes, and then as soon as I would sip it, and then as soon as it like I start getting sleepy again, I'll sip another I'll take another sip, and then I'll keep going like that the whole ride. And I honestly don't even finish the coffee.
No
like
way.
I don't even finish, and I won't even get those. My favorite coffees are those the Starbucks like glass mocha ones.
Oh,
you know?
girl, those are all sugar though. They
Yeah,
don't even have caffeine.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's more like the sugar is what's keeping me awake than the coffee.
Got it. Yeah. That is so funny. Yeah, no, definitely. I love caffeine on road trips. I love driving at night. So sometimes when my hubby falls asleep, because he often does when we're on road trips.
Yes, call him out.
Yeah. I had to stop for a coffee. But my go-to is usually it is iced too, just because I feel like it wakes me up more.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I love caramel macchiatos with, of course, extra shots of espresso. But those are my go-tos for like, road trips or just on weekends sometimes. But definitely throughout the day, like on a weekday, I don't
stick to teas.
I stick to teas, yeah. Just because I believe it's healthier, but I'm not very sure. The way I drink it, maybe it's not very healthy. I know for a fact that there are some disadvantages to the caffeine, right? It's highly addictive, and there's withdrawals that come with cutting back. I know that happened to me. And also, the anxiety that comes with, and the highs and lows that you feel throughout the day.
Yeah, because eventually that caffeine wears off, right?
And for me, I believe it wears off about 3 hours after. So it doesn't even last very long. And then afterwards, I'm feeling sluggish, and I feel like I need more coffee or more tea.
Hence the 4 teas in one day.
Exactly.
Aside from those disadvantages, there's actually some really good benefits to being caffeine free. I read this article recently on Healthline, and it was called the 10 health benefits of living caffeine free. And apparently one of them is more efficient absorption of nutrients. And specifically, they mentioned calcium, iron, and B vitamin.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so if you don't drink caffeine, it's easier for you to absorb these specific ones in your like daily intake or your daily food intake. But yeah, being caffeine free, you could be getting more out of your food. You could be getting all these vitamins compared to people who do drink a lot of caffeine and take caffeine.
Yeah, and those vitamins, I'm sure that they would boost your energy.
Oh yeah, I bet.
So they would probably have you feeling a lot better throughout the day, a lot more energy throughout the day. So that's already a benefit on its own.
Yeah, but get this one. They also mention you can actually age better if you don't drink caffeine.
No way.
Yeah. They say like not sipping on that morning cup of coffee could mean less wrinkles for you.
Less wrinkles. Who doesn't want less wrinkles?
I know, right? So yeah, apparently I could be having less wrinkles than you yet. I'm just kidding. No. So maybe that's another reason why you should, or you would want to give up caffeine for the large intake of caffeine you may be taking.
Yeah, I think the older we get, we have to start thinking about these things, right? So we won't spend so much money on face products.
And all those anti-wrinkle creams.
Yeah, retinol.
But also another benefit is getting better sleep. I know I hear from my parents where they would take coffee like pretty late at night, and all of a sudden they couldn't sleep all night. And then the next morning I'm hearing about it. And I'm like, if you know that coffee does this to you, why are you drinking it so late? But I guess it just goes so good with that bread at night.
Yeah. Yeah, my parents actually, they're big coffee drinkers, and they both have to have their coffee in the morning and midday and at night too. But at night, mostly when there's like company, right? I remember when I was younger, family friends or family would come over and they would always just start making that coffee and of course along with that bread. And I'm not really sure if they were able to sleep after that or not, but I mean they were drinking coffee at like 10 p.m.
Maybe it's just it didn't affect them as much because they were so young.
True.
My parents are older, so maybe it just like really cut down on their or really affected their sleep. Yeah. I know I recently started hearing that from them too. It wasn't like all the time. It was more recent where now they're like, okay, no coffee after this time. So if you're thinking of cutting back on your caffeine or if you want to cut it out completely, we have some interesting alternatives to caffeine that some of these have worked for me and others are from our research we did.
Yeah, alternatives that will give you energy that will last you a lot longer than a caffeine boost. Some of them, I'm sure you guys know of already. It's superfoods. Superfoods are big on energy boosters, and you can either mix them in a shake in the morning or you can just eat them on their own, like oatmeal. Oatmeal in the morning is really good. It gives you so much energy and it really leaves you full for like a really long time. For me, I don't even feel the need to like eat anything. I would say I don't have any cravings because I'm a big cravings person. And I feel like I'm always craving something sweet or I'm always craving something unhealthy, I should say. Every time I eat oatmeal in the morning, I just feel like it leaves me really satisfied.
Really?
And there's many ways to, cook your oatmeal. I like it really bland, literally just water and just like the steel cut oats, and that's it. And that's how I accustom my daughter too. So now she always asks for oatmeal, and it has to be just like the simple water and oatmeal. But
seems easy.
Yeah, it is easy.
Yeah.
And I believe it's also the healthiest way. You don't have to add sugar or, anything else. There are many ways to make your oatmeal a lot yummier, right?
Yeah, I recently discovered like overnight oats, and those are delicious too.
Yeah, they are. So that's one superfood that you can definitely include in your diet early morning. So, it'll just keep you energized throughout your day or up until midday at least.
Till lunchtime.
Yeah. And then during lunchtime, you can just whip yourself up. What is it? Like a shake with some greens, some kale or some avocado or some berries. And if you can't do that because, you're at work or something, you can always just snack on like almonds, and those are energy boosters on its own. And, avocado, if you're like me and you love avocado, you can snack on like a half of an avocado and put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper and just eat it. I love avocados. So, that's an alternative too. It'll keep you feeling full and energized throughout the day. So those are some superfoods that you guys can definitely try out that'll boost your energy. So aside from superfoods, I know that including workouts in your daily routine really helps with your energy levels.
Oh, I know. After when I used to go running after a run, you just have a whole bunch of energy after you're done. It's so weird because you would think you'd be really, really tired from running a lot, but really you just all of a sudden have a whole bunch of energy.
Yeah, no, definitely. I remember when I used to work out, I used to work out in the mornings, and oh my goodness, that felt so good. It just kept me going throughout the day. I felt so energized and just so amazing. I definitely recommend to work out in the morning if you can, but honestly, working out at any time of day is obviously super good for you.
Yeah, it's gonna help you feel good.
And that also,
I know I tried working out in the morning because to me it was like I wanted to get it out of the way. So I started at one point doing this workout at like 5 a.m. It was like a class that I would go to. And the few times that I actually made it to this class, it was actually really, really good. Like you just, the rest of the day, you just feel super energized.
Yeah.
But as much as I love that feeling, I just couldn't get myself out of bed that early. I'm just not a morning person, but it's a really good way to get energy.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely hard. It's just, I think the hard thing is to get yourself into the habit of doing it.
Yeah.
You know, once you get like a schedule going and your body starts getting used to you waking up in the mornings, like everything else just follows, right? And your body just, like I said, gets used to it. But it's definitely disciplining yourself to do so. That is so hard. And girl, I'm still trying to discipline myself to wake up early in the mornings because, yeah, it's hard.
But yeah, morning workout can be that little help for you to give up caffeine.
Yeah, you won't even feel like you need it at all.
Yeah. You just have to get over that fact that you're always like, oh, I need coffee right away in the morning.
Yeah. Even if you decide to work out at night, like we mentioned, a workout at any time of day is obviously awesome. But at nighttime, I feel like it'll prepare you for the next day, right?
Oh, you know what? Actually, because normally I do work out at night, I like to work out at night more. It's kind of like, oh, the last thing I do, and I just try to fit it into my day, right? And actually, when I tend to work out at night, and then, you know, you have to shower, and then you get ready for bed, and when you just like crash in your bed, it's like the best feeling because you're so tired from working out that I just have like the best night's sleep.
Yeah, that'll definitely, that can definitely be a way to fall asleep, right? And to make sure that you just get a good night's sleep in. If you guys have trouble sleeping, right, or you just don't know how to fix that, definitely work out at night, and best believe you'll probably be sleeping like a baby.
I know I did.
So whether you work out at night, midday, or in the morning, that's already a head start to your next day, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it helps to start yesterday, which basically means that if you make sure that you eat clean the day before, or that, you know, you get a good workout in, or that you go to sleep
Early,
right? Get at least 6, 7, 8 hours of sleep. These are all head starts to waking up the next day and feeling good about yourself and giving your body like that energy boost that it needs naturally.
Yeah. And it all starts from the night before.
Exactly, right? From what you did the day before. Something else that I'm sure we also all are aware of, but we tend to do this, is use our phones at night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, while you're laying in bed, while you're so sleepy, you're either watching Netflix, or you're just on Pinterest like me, or you're just, I don't know, on social media. It really strains your eyes. At least for me, it does. And it makes my head hurt. And I finally decide to go to sleep. And I wake up feeling like I'm hungover. And I finally realized that it was because of all the screen time I was having right before bed.
And all day, right? Because you're on your phone all day.
Yeah, on my phone all day, on the computer all day. And
then you end your day with the phone too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that whole start yesterday thing too. It starts with your putting away your phone at night.
Yeah, at least like an hour before you go to bed, right? Make sure you stay off your phone and don't watch television. Just, really stay away from any screen time.
So I actually, like I mentioned before, I don't drink coffee, and I don't know what it is that I do to have energy throughout the day. I mean, I have like those days when I do feel like really energy drained, but majority of the time I'm fine. And honestly, the only thing I do is I drink water and milk. That's all I drink. Yeah, I don't drink juice. I don't drink sodas. I don't drink pretty much anything else. All I drink is water and milk. And milk, it's like occasionally too. It's not even like all the time.
Yeah.
And then I sleep a lot. Sometimes even more than my 8 hours.
Yeah.
But again, I also don't have kids, which I know kids can be, they take up a lot of your energy. And I don't have kids right now. It's just me. So it's really easy for me to sleep.
That's nice.
And then throughout the day, I don't have to use my energy, on taking care of kids and tending to them.
Yeah, no, definitely. I kind of envy you on that.
Don't worry, my time will come too.
Just because, yeah, I mean, I still believe like I am a really energized person, but man, it's not the same for me after kids. After my second child, I believe. It's just not the same. And as much as I try to not rely on like coffee, it's really hard to if I don't really get myself into, like if I don't really discipline myself into better habits. You know, I just automatically coffee because it's easy and it's so accessible. Yeah. But, you know, I'm definitely trying to stay away from, you know, caffeine. I keep saying coffee like I drink so much coffee. Remember, I'm the tea drinker. But I definitely, you know, I'm trying to stay away from caffeine and just looking for better ways to boost my energy, whether it's like a 15 to 20 nap with my kids. Or just, you know, go outside for a walk in the mornings. I usually like to do things in the mornings because it's like the start of my day. And I just feel like it gets me going. It gets me in a good mood. And I mean, that's the goal, right? To get yourself in a good mood for the rest of your day.
Honestly, I feel like, yeah, the morning will define your day. Like if you're doing, or if you're feeling pretty good in the morning and you're going into the morning with a really positive view, the rest of your day will be pretty good, you know?
Yeah.
So if you don't have your morning coffee and you're starting to feel sluggish, that can ruin your day, you know? And it's something that's always going to be like on your mind, you know, when you're used to taking coffee or caffeine every day. So maybe, or at least, you know, by eliminating caffeine, you don't get that anymore. You don't get that sluggish feeling. You feel pretty much the same every morning, unless it's like you were really tired doing something the night before, you know. Yeah, you won't have that sluggish caffeine withdrawals.
Definitely. And it's all mind over matter, really, you know? Don't get yourselves in that mentality that you need a certain thing to feel okay or to feel good, you know? It is what you make of it. So definitely don't be dependent on coffee or teas.
I forgot to mention the other way that I get most of my energy from is the fact that I'm a chocoholic. I love chocolate and sugar and not candy, but just like chocolate and sweets. Yeah, I eat a lot of it. And I think that's honestly what keeps me energized. And I know chocolate has that thing where it makes you happy. It has like certain ingredient that makes you happy. And I swear, I feel like when I read that, I was like, that explains me because I'm eating chocolate all the time and I'm always happy. Or not always happy, but I'm most of the time happy.
There's a little bit of bliss for you.
Yeah.
A bite of bliss.
Yes.
Isn't there a Hershey's chocolate?
Yeah.
Called Bliss?
Yeah, there is. I think they read my mind because that's literally what chocolate is for me.
Oh, that's cute. I'm a big sweets person too, but I'm not much of a chocolate person. I like chocolate, don't get me wrong, but I don't love it. But I do like Rocky Road, and that's like all chocolate.
Interesting.
But I can't just eat like a bar of chocolate, like just pure chocolate. I just can't do that. It's too much for me. So as far as sweets, I think ice cream would be my favorite. But
do you feel like it gives you energy?
I don't.
Yeah.
It makes me feel sluggish.
I think that's the milk.
It is the dairy. Definitely the dairy. I love bread, but I still don't feel like it gives me energy.
Too many carbs.
Too many carbs.
I'm telling you, the secret is just a bar of chocolate. If you want energy a different way, a bar of chocolate.
Yeah.
Actually, I think chocolate might have caffeine in it.
Oh my goodness. Well.
No way. I think it does actually. I don't know how much though.
You're fooling yourself, Mitty.
Yeah, I thought I didn't drink caffeine, and I guess I'm taking it through chocolate.
Eating it.
Yeah. So I guess I have been having some caffeine.
It turns out that Melly is the most addicted person to caffeine. Just because she doesn't drink it doesn't mean she's not consuming it.
Yep, through chocolate.
So hey, that's another alternative. If you want to, oh wait, no, that is not an alternative.
That's not a healthy alternative because it's too much sugar. All right, but anyways, aside from me, let's share our fun thing we learned that you can do if you really can't give up your coffee in the mornings. But if you really can't give up your caffeine,
there's a thing called coffee naps.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
And even though it sounds contradicting, according to health.com, caffeine in coffee doesn't kick in for about 30 minutes.
Giving you enough time to take a nap before the caffeine kicks in.
Yeah, and the result will leave you feeling rested and stimulated.
That's crazy.
How nice does that sound? Rested and stimulated.
So you take a coffee and then set a timer for 30 minutes and take a 30-minute nap.
Yeah, and then voila.
You wake up refreshed.
Yes.
With lots of energy.
And very well rested.
Interesting. So you get double the energy boost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I feel like the coffee nap only works like midday, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's when you feel the most drained, which is usually, I believe, between like 12:30 and like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, midday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. That's like the first I've heard of that.
Yeah, me too.
But it's a really interesting concept.
Mm-hmm. And if you love napping and you love caffeine, there you go.
Perfect combo. Yeah, this was made for you.
So you're welcome, guys. And let us know how you feel after trying your coffee nap.
Or if you're willing to try giving up caffeine, send us a message or leave us a comment in our Instagram, Twitter, and our YouTube.
Yeah, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. You guys can hear us through there now. So if you guys want to check out more disadvantages or advantages or just alternatives to caffeine, check out the description box. We will be linking all of the articles where we got all our tips from.
Thanks for listening.
And catch you on the next one.
Bliss out.
Bliss out, guys.